everybody, to another exciting episode of Multiplayer, the podcast by gamers for gamers. I am your host, Zach Matscanis, alongside the lover boy himself, Javier Ortiz.
Yo, I also have a special guest in Mario right next to me. He's very excited about the recent news.
Wahoo! And of course, we have this man floating through space for some reason. I don't know what's going on back there. It is Kehan.
Hey guys, how's it going? How's it going, guys?
Yo. How's that space? Was a space pirate now? What's going on?
Space pirate.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm unemployed.
And of course, the man with nothing going on in his background, nor does he have any interesting props this week, Joseph Rue.
Hey, how's it going?
He's got a guitar back there.
Hey. That's true.
That's true. That's true.
It doesn't do anything.
Most interesting
though.
going on.
He doesn't play it, but it's there.
There's no RGB lights on it. It sucks.
He's just there to be like, yeah, I could play it, but I don't because I'm too cool.
Yeah, I mean, you guys aren't gonna hear it ever, but I do play it.
Well, cool. Remember, everyone, that Multiplayer is all over the place, in your ears and in your face. You can check us out at youtube.com/multiplayer, as well as podcast services everywhere. So, this Christmas, ask for our videos in a podcast form, open that present, and voila, boom, there's a...
It's our faces.
Our faces or our voices over audio podcast services. Woo! And remember, subscribe, all that stuff. We're also on Instagram at GoMultiplayer, all that. We'll also talk about all that at the end of the show. But I want to give a shout out right at the top because, hey, we're there and we're doing fun things sometimes.
Yeah.
So check it all out. And of course, these release every Wednesday. What are you eating over there, Kehan?
Yeah,
we're shooting a podcast.
I know, dudes. I'm just watching this kid fucking finish his lunch.
Oh my god, dude.
He's floating through space. He's got pirates. He's eating pizza. Like, what is happening?
Can't even
So
defend
gross.
himself, dude. He has no explanation.
Just mute yourself for the rest of the show. I just want nothing to do with you.
Ew.
Ridiculous. Okay, let's get into some news. Figure we start with some fun stuff, then maybe get into some not so fun stuff, and then end with some fun stuff. A little
like
fun
it.
sandwich with a little unfun meat in the middle.
That's weird.
I think that'll. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot to start my little timer. So let me do that real quick, just so I have that. Don't worry.
It's alright. We can just restart the podcast. Yeah, it's just,
No, I don't need to do that. I know that's been about 5 minutes of nonsense, so I know roughly about where we're at. Okay, let's get into something. Woohoo! There was a Super Nintendo World thing. Let's call it Nintendo Direct. I was like, there's a word I'm forgetting here. The Super Nintendo World Direct. They had that the other day, and boy, was that kind of cool. So, for the people in the know and not in the know, Nintendo has been working on a big old theme park for a while in Universal Studios Japan, and it was actually supposed to release earlier this year, right around the time the Olympics were going to happen, because that was basically the whole thing. It's like, we're gonna build this theme park inside of Universal Studio Japan. It's going to basically open right at the same time as the Olympics, and then we'll get the Olympics crowd of people. And then the world took a big fat poop.
The world stopped turning.
Yeah. So, obviously, things got real bad. Things still aren't real bad, but Nintendo is pushing on. They're like, okay, we're going to keep building this theme park. We're like 3 years in. Oh my god, we need to just finish this.
They've been ready to release this.
No, I mean basically, things just got slowed down tremendously by COVID, and them just, I think they probably took a step back and sort of reevaluated and was like, okay, let's take our time and just kind of polish this up, and let's figure out a good time to sort of open our doors to this part of the theme park, because things like, like Disney World in Japan and all that has been closed for a while, and I think it's at like 20% capacity or something now. And I would assume Universal Studios Japan is probably doing the same thing, just doing whatever they can. Keihan, you are the most distracting man I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, seriously.
This guy is so ridiculous. Anybody on podcast services, go check out youtube.com/multiplayer, where you can see Keihan being a ridiculous human being, floating through space, drinking water, eating pizza, playing with pirates. What a freaking monster this man is.
Just the worst. Just the
worst podcaster I've ever seen in my life. It's such a joke. But anyway, so Nintendo just had this direct, kind of showing off Super Nintendo World, and boy, does that look like a cool place. Before we get into that, I just want to say I love Shigeru Miyamoto. That man, I wish he was my father. I wish that we were like best friends. Like my dream in life, my wish in life that I know will never come true, but I would love to sit down with that man, just like have a beer and just like hang out. He could play the banjo because he loves playing the banjo. I just imagine us like on his like front porch, like drinking a beer together, and somehow I can speak Japanese so that we can have like a normal conversation. Yeah. And I just want to like pick his brain, because that man he's like such a fascinating dude. The way he kind of looks at the world and the way he looks at like game design, and obviously he had so much to do with building Super Nintendo World. I mean, that's basically his brain and it has exploded into like a life-size like Mario Mushroom Kingdom that you could kind of go and see, and it's just fascinating. I love that man. And he said something at the beginning of this this little direct that I thought was so funny, because I've never heard him say it, but he's like, "Hi, I'm Shigeru Miyamoto. I'm Mario's dad." Yeah, and it's just like, I thought that was like so cute, and it's like I've never heard him say that before. And maybe he says it a lot, and but he didn't say it in the directs. But like he's never he's always been like, "Hi, I'm Shigeru Miyamoto, creator of Super Mario Brothers or whatever." But he's never been like, "I'm Mario's dad."
Does he have a son?
Like a real life son?
Yeah.
He's probably got like a whole family.
I think he does have a kid or two.
Awkward. I'm Mario's dad, and only Mario's dad. My only good son. My only. What about Luigi? Actually,
that would be real sad.
That's awkward.
So what's funny is like later on in the direct, he runs into Mario and Luigi, the mascots at the park, and he's like, "Oh, hey guys, what's up? And let's get a picture together." They take a picture together, and then it's like, "Okay, Dad has to work. I'll see you guys later."
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah, it was so weird.
I think that's just like so funny. It's just just
the way he talks.
Yeah. It's just like, "All right, Daddy has to work." It's like go run on and play.
Yeah, I love that man. He's got like such a nice, kind spirit.
Yeah,
definitely like an old man spirit.
Well, I mean, he gets to make video games he loves for his job forever. So, I mean, if I could do what I wanted to with video games forever, I'm sure I'd never mature and be an adult. I'm sure I'd just be a kid at heart forever.
Yeah, so, he does seem like a big kid at heart.
He's a pretty lucky guy too. Talented, but should be lucky.
But yeah, so with that in mind, it's like like I kind of said, this like Super Nintendo World. Obviously, there's a huge team of people that's like building something like that. It's not just Shigeru Miyamoto, but with everything that's kind of Mario related, he has like a very heavy hand in, kind of the direction things go, from video games to the movie that Universal's working on, the CG movie. I've heard lots of stories from like different, writers, directors, developers that have had to work with Miyamoto, very closely on certain projects, from like the Rabbids game to, things like like I said, that movie being made by Universal. I hate you so much, Keihan.
Yeah, I can't stand this man.
Try to talk this man so distracted. Anyways, so it's so obviously he had a pretty heavy hand in this, and you can kind of see the love in Super Nintendo World, if you kind of watch that direct, him walking around and kind of showing off like different aspects of it, and kind of I've been to like Disney World plenty of times, or in Disneyland, and you can kind of see with like the Princess Peach's castle, and kind of the Mushroom Kingdom, like it kind of feels like that with like Cinderella's castle at Disneyland.
Yeah,
like kind of has
castle.
that vibe to it. Yeah,
and, for sure.
But it has like so many little nice touches, like the Mario 64 like castle music playing in the background,
and the paintings on the wall.
Paintings on the wall, and like depending on how you're looking at it, like the image can change.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
So there's some cool stuff there, and obviously it's like it wouldn't be like a Mario world without a bunch of hidden secrets. So there's like secrets all over the place, and you can like hit question mark blocks and get coins and collect coins throughout the whole park. And
yeah, the food looked really cool too.
Yeah, food looks really cool. Obviously Japan, like they're just great at just making like beautiful looking like food and like food art.
No way that's gonna be in the US version though. There's like
no, it's gonna be like a Mario. It's gonna be a Mario T-bone steak, like a Mario T-bone steak.
Oh, it's a Mario mac and cheese.
Remember they had that like
big old plate.
They had that like that question mark block dessert looking thing with the crackers.
Yeah.
That looked awesome. There's no way that standard is gonna be the same in the US. Like I just have a feeling the Japanese have like a way higher standard of that stuff.
Oh yeah. Tell you, it's gonna be Mario mac and cheese,
Sloppy Joe
Luigi,
Mario,
Luigi chicken fingers.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be
and
like
it's gonna be some like fat guy.
They had like crepesi salad in like the Japanese Universal.
We're gonna have Yoshi dinosaur chicken nuggets, where there's just the generic dinosaur chicken nuggets.
Yeah, and some fat guy in a Yoshi costume is gonna deliver it. Like, and
just like walk up to so disappointing. It's gonna be prepackaged too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a school lunch basically.
Like sloppy Joe on the side. Yeah, and then the kids are like, "Mommy, I want to go home." I don't know. This place scares me.
And they're still gonna charge like $30 for it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
For
sure. Like try 60. Try 60. Honestly, in America. Honestly.
God. I hope I can go to Japan someday.
It's just like the most broken thing ever.
But anyway, I think the park looks super interesting, creative, and it's unfortunate it's coming out in such a bad time. Just like with this global pandemic situation, it's just it's like opening in February, and it's like, boy, the world is not going to be ready in February. And my basically in December, I was like thinking about getting a ticket to go to Japan because I knew this was going to open right around the Olympics, and I was like, I want to go to Japan. I want to check out Super Nintendo world, and I think it's going to be awesome. And obviously those plans did not work out. But maybe once the world kind of settles back down, I'll be able to go and check it out, which would be kind of cool.
Ooh, I'll go.
And let's do it, man.
Yeah,
multiplayer trip.
Oh, yeah.
It's not invited Keihan, though.
Tax write-off. It's for work.
Don't tell Keihan he's not invited, though.
You guys go with the first wave, and if you guys are all safe and you come back, then I'll try to go next time.
You can go by yourself.
Yeah, really.
Stupid.
I'll be on a plane with my Mario bib, and I'm just like with my drink, like.
But I mean, I know that they're bringing the Olympics. They're planning on doing the Olympics this summer, so this coming summer, 2021.
Still?
So I think they are. No, so it was supposed to be this summer, but they canceled it. Yeah. So now I think they're doing it in 2021. So
with
probably
people
why
or
with like the people in the Olympics. Yeah.
Well,
that seems too soon.
I think they're hoping by the summer that everything kind of calms down.
They'll probably like give them like vaccines and stuff too.
I hope so.
Probably.
I bet you they'll probably do like a mandatory vaccine.
They just throw the needles in the crowd. Like.
Yeah. So it makes sense that they're also timing it to like release it or to open the park right before it. Even though the timing does seem bad, but I mean at the same time they're probably just like. This
gotta
was
open
the
it
plan.
sometime.
You're right. This was the plan. Open it with the same year as the Olympics, and they're like, "All right, we just got to do it."
Yeah. So, I hope it opens and it does well. Obviously it's like parks are struggling right now. It's like Disney obviously has been struggling pretty
Dude, I heard
hard
Disneyland is
with
free.
their parks.
Is that true?
Huh?
I heard
No.
Disneyland is free. So Disneyland is free, but you have to pay for parking. That's what I heard.
No, I mean Disneyland isn't open, period, and hasn't been open.
I think it's free if you illegally just run inside.
If you hop the fence.
I heard it's free right now, but all the
Vegas
the rides
is
are
also
closed.
free.
Like, you can still like go to the restaurants and do all like the other stuff, which is the stupidest thing to me because I was like, why would you go to Disneyland for the food?
The overpriced
Yeah,
restaurants and
for like
food.
the $30
wait. You
like
can get the
grilled
Mickey
$15
mac
drunk
and cheese and goofy dinosaur chicken nuggets.
Exactly.
No,
All right, sorry, that was off topic, but
No,
that's what I
all
heard.
good. But yeah, obviously it's like parks have been struggling. I'm sure Universal Studios is in the same boat. Though I've had less visibility as far as like their what their losses have been. But I hope it like opens up and does well, and they start to see a profit, and we get kind of the because basically they're planning one of these like Super Nintendo Worlds for Hollywood, Florida, and Singapore over the next probably I'd say 5-6+ years. So I hope it we eventually get it and it's open and we can go to it and all that. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that for a minute, just because it excites me. I'm like I'm a big kid at heart, and I want to. I want to be there as soon as that place opens and ride some Mario Karts or something. But before we move on, I thought it'd be fun to see if any of you guys had like a fun idea for like maybe like a ride or an attraction that would be at Super Nintendo World. And I'll give you mine first, just to kind of give you an extra second to think here. But I think it'd be kind of fun to do like there was a show I watched a while ago on Netflix just called The Floor is Lava. And I think it'd be kind of cool to do like a Bowser theme, like Floor is Lava, kind of like just a giant room that you can just sort of like jump from, like question blocks to like other things while these kind of lava levels sort of rise on you.
No, that'd be cool.
That would be.
I think that would be like a lot of fun. You're basically trying to get from one side of the room to the other to like grab the flag or whatever, and I think that could be a lot of fun. I'd be into it.
Cool.
I like that. I got two. So I've mentioned one before, which is a Minecart Madness roller coaster, like that. But that's Donkey Kong related. But I think that'd be really fun.
That'd be
but
really
then
cool.
Another one I thought of. I don't know how like much of the Mushroom Kingdom cast they're gonna utilize. Hopefully it's everybody. But I was thinking of like a Wario like laser gun ride where you have to like you see him like throughout the attraction, like he's stealing like coins, and you have to like you shoot at different like Wario targets, and you build a coin score between you and like other people on the ride. And it's like the person with the most coins win, and then you can utilize like the app that Miyamoto was talking about in the direct as well for like your own coin stock, which I don't know what it's for, but I'm sure it's cool.
Oh, that'd be so sick, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like
sure...
a stop Wario from stealing all the treasure from like the Mushroom Kingdom, because like that's his whole thing. Like he loves gold coins and stuff. So like trying to stop him, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I would assume that the gold coins that you collect, basically you can redeem them for like a pin or
like arcade,
like something like that. Yeah, like that was the case at E3 for a couple. Basically every year it's like you go, and if you play different like demos and stuff, you basically get like a point or whatever, and then at the end you kind of go to the kiosk and redeem those for like a hat or a pin or a coin or something tangible that you can sort of take home. So I would assume it's sort of the same kind of deal where it's like you get enough coins and you can get like a Super Nintendo
Mario
World
hat
pin or something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be okay with that. But yeah, I think stopping Wario would be really fun, because I think he's such a funny character, and like that would just be a fun ride. It'd be like him like trying to fart and get away from you and stuff.
The whole ride just smells terrible.
Yeah.
Joe, you got one?
Is it only sticking to the Mario franchise for now?
Yeah, just
so
something
like,
you would see at
gotcha.
Super Nintendo World.
So no Zelda or anything, or no. Like
I mean,
Pokemon
it is
and
called
stuff?
Super Nintendo World.
Like, are they gonna put a Pokemon and stuff in there too? That's a missed franchise they would miss.
I doubt
If
it.
They can
I doubt it. Pokemon is like a separate entity from Nintendo. Like the Pokemon company is like its own thing.
It's only associated through Smash Brothers, and that's it, basically.
Gotcha. You're right. I think it is different.
But I mean,
Game Freak, yeah.
But like you're on it, like, because the theme park is called Super Nintendo World.
Yeah,
it's not
okay,
Super
but
Mario
if
World.
if they can expand it on a Zelda, if they could add Zelda onto that, I think it'd be cool. Like an idea would be like if they could recreate like the Lost Woods somehow. You know what I'm talking about?
That would be
like,
awesome.
cool.
Yeah,
redoing like the Lost Woods, you have to like try to like get through that, and like or doing some kind of like labyrinth maze and stuff like you always have to do. That'd be really fun.
That would be cool.
I always like doing like live mazes like that because as you have to do that a lot, and in like Breath of the Wild also, you just have to like navigate like a bunch of mazes, and it's very like it's like I can see a lot of ways you could like utilize like you could put like a lot of like characters and stuff too, like in between certain rooms and whatnot, and at the very end of the ride. It'll probably work more like a mirror funhouse, you know what I'm talking about, where like it's not like a ride, but it's just like a little, you have to like walk through this thing, try to like navigate it through by yourself.
Sure.
That's what I'm
you gotta
envisioning.
make your way through the Lost Woods.
Yeah.
In
terms of a ride,
cool.
I'm guessing maybe you can like let me think of a Mario game. I'm guessing like Mario Kart. I didn't see the entire video, but it was
no.
Mario Kart, like,
I was gonna fuck you.
There is a Mario Kart, right?
Yeah, okay.
So.
I'm glad I took Chaos idea then, because then Mario Kart would totally be like a thing to utilize. Yeah,
that is a ride.
Yeah, that's already a ride there.
Oh,
there. Oh, it is.
There we go.
Oh, well then, never mind. All right.
You guys did not do your homework. Okay.
But yeah, there's another cool stuff is you could probably like ride a Yoshi. I don't know. They'll probably like make some animatronic. Honestly, they'll probably make some animatronic Yoshis and then you can like ride and stuff. I can totally see that.
Paint a bunch of donkeys green.
No, America will do that. So America will have like a petting zoo, like a disgusting.
Yeah,
wait, that's my ride. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anymore.
Pet a Yoshi. It's like that's just a donkey painted green. It's like, yeah, I don't care. You know, eat your Mario mac and cheese.
Bakersfield,
pet the
California.
Yeah.
That's so funny, dude. Yeah, but in Japan, I mean, like I could, cause I've seen this thing. So Disney World in Japan, they're doing this next level, next gen, like animatronic robots to be like princess characters and stuff, and it looks crazy, right? It looks really good, really realistic, except it's like real life. Because it looked like they did. The example was like Belle, and it looked like it behaved just like Belle. It was like moving, like all like the way she was like animated. It looked very similar in real life. So I'm guessing that tech will reach Mario, and you can like actually like ride a Yoshi or something. It'll like walk around, and it'll be so sick. You know,
it could just be Yoshi bumper
30
cars
years in the future, huh? Yeah, or like you know, like cars. Or do like a little Yoshi's Island kind of thing, except 3D style, and you can like. You know, throw eggs at shit and get points.
You're just walking through the park with like a bucket of eggs and just throw it at
people.
You
can throw out the
US
mascot's
version
jobs.
Is like literal eggs. It's like, all right, here's your green eggs, and just throw them at people. And just
but they're like hard, rotten eggs that they're throwing out, and they give it to the. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're leftover eggs from the kitchen.
And then like something hits you, and then they steal your baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they steal. In America, it's like your real baby.
Miyamoto's like. Meanwhile, all the moms are like, "My baby." Just like, yeah.
These
My
the
baby
rules
now.
of Nintendo World.
Yeah. You didn't read the fine print. No.
Keon, you got any
That'd be
thoughts
great.
before we move on?
Honestly, I like the petting zoo idea more than anything. Honestly, well, I just imagine. Remember South Park, Honey Boo Boo, where she's picking out the pig for the heart transplant? That's what I imagine. Like the kids get to pick out like which like Yoshi, disgusting like donkey they want to pet, and then he holds him up. And he's like, "This one, you want this one right here?" And she's like, "I want that one." And it's like a disgusting like, just like miscarriage of justice like donkey. Yeah. Some like donkey that like
that's
waddles
the American
over to
version,
her.
bro.
Yeah, and then she's like, "What do you want for lunch?" She's like, "I want beef," or "I want meat." And then they kill the donkey that she picked earlier, and they just feed it to her, and it's just like shaped like. Anyways, yeah,
A great idea.
a petting zoo, basically a petting zoo.
All right, petting zoo with green donkeys.
Or
coming to Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, a better version of the racing. You know how Disneyland has the auto thing where you're in a car with someone and you're on a tram, but you're kind of like, you're stuck on that line, so you can't like turn too much in Disneyland. They should have one for like Double Dash. Javi, you were talking about the lasers, how you shoot stuff and you get points. Mm-hmm. They should have something where it's like Double Dash, where you have a gun and it's like a laser thing, like the Buzz Lightyear ride at Disneyland, but you're on a car and someone's behind you, like a 2-person car, like Double Dash, and the person in the back is shooting and the person in the front's kind of steering, and it's almost like you're all racing. Dash? It's all you're all throwing. Racing.
You have to throw that.
Yeah.
You have to throw actual shells and banana
Let's take the raw eggs, and then you just like you pelt the people in front of you until they get out of the way.
Yeah, I wish they can.
Yeah, that would be cool though.
Go look at the Mario Kart ride that's there, because you're kind of saying a lot of what they have, because it's like an AR experience. I think you can shoot stuff. Like it's a whole thing. So
yeah, you do get items in it too, which is awesome.
Oh, okay.
No, I want the real thing. If they're not throwing actual banana peels, not interested.
All right, moving on. All right, so if you remember, I talked about the delicious sandwich. So top bun we've talked about, like the good delicious toasted bun, and then we're gonna move to like the poopy innards of the
rotten meat,
the rotten meat of this. So yeah, basically, obviously it's like Cyberpunk's been in the news, and it's a big game. It's a big game with a lot of big disappointment from a lot of big fans of CD Projekt Red, and it's just basically continuing this like dumpster fire of trash like rolling down a hill, which is like, what is happening with Cyberpunk? So basically over the past week or so, since we sort of last talked about it, there's been a lot of people pretty upset with the OG PS4 and Xbox One versions of the game. They're just not working well, and they look like butt, they play like butt. I mean, there's literally people, like those games are running at like 15 frames a second, like it's like an N64 game.
It's really bad.
it's like chugging like like GoldenEye was back in the day.
It can't render anything on screen.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, and obviously, what are the issues with the gaming industry? Is once you kind of open a game, or once you like download a game, it's damn near impossible to get like a refund. It's pretty darn hard, and this is one of those games where it's like a lot of people are pretty upset because it's kind of unplayable on some of those OG consoles, and have been like trying to demand refunds. And obviously it's like, once you buy something from like the PSN store or the Xbox store, they're like, nah, dog, you bought that. No refunds. But Sony finally made an exception. Microsoft finally made an exception. They're like, hey, if you want your money back, you can have your money back. Also, Sony just straight up took it off the store. They're like, you cannot buy this game right now, which is kind of wild. Yeah, it's crazy. And apparently that was like an actual conversation with like CD Projekt Red, where they're like, yeah, go ahead and like pull it down for now. But I can't think of another game. Like I did a little research, and I was kind of looking inside my own brain head for like another situation like this, and I was like, I can't think of a single other like AAA game that just was yanked off the store because of how bad it was, like the performances for some of these consoles. It's just kind of crazy. It's such a like a rocky start to like such a huge game. And kind of what I'm getting at here is there's kind of been like a lot of talk about like what went wrong, what's the problem here. And CD Projekt Red had like a big kind of internal meeting about it, talking about crunch and all that kind of stuff. But there's also just basically the way I see it is like, it kind of comes down to sort of the scope of a game and, leadership trying to cram too much into like a short amount of time, even though they've been working on this game for like 7 years. But once they got up to like the finish line, instead of just letting the game have the development time it needed, like another 6 months or even a year, they just like, nope, it's got to be out by Christmas, and just like got it out. And obviously it's kind of rocky, but there's also like this conversation of like, well, is it suffering because this is really a next gen game they're trying to cram on like these old consoles because that's where the install base is. So I kind of just wanted to sort of open this up to the floor. If anybody had any thoughts on this like kind of debacle, and it's like, do you feel like, you know, the last gen consoles are sort of holding this game back? Should they have just like scrapped that? Or it's like, should they have, because this world is, I mean, the game is huge. I've probably put 30 hours in this game, and there's like no end in sight as far as like the crap you can do in it. So it's like, is it just like a scope of production kind of thing? Kind of just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on this.
Kayhan, you go first.
So I got it refunded yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Actually, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
and you're playing on PC.
Yeah. No, I'm a huge fan of CD Projekt Red, but like in this economy, in this quarantine, opened my eyes to like being picky about picking games, because I haven't bought a game. I got this game like a year ago. Like I pre-ordered it because CD Projekt Red at the time was a new saving grace. You know, Witcher 3, I was singing its praises, like what an amazing game. And lo and behold, they just, you know, and when I play the game, it's just a buggy mess. It's a freaking nightmare. And I noticed they were giving back refunds. So I'm like, in this economy, no, I'm not taking a chance with my $60. Give me that back. So I literally got my refund back. But I think it's, you know, Anthem had that like 10-year cycle where it just went through hell of development for Anthem. And then it just ended up being like a bad game overall. But I mean, this, I don't know if it was like they were forced to release it because they had to meet like financial requirements for like maybe like loans they took out where they had to release the game and like put it out anyways. But either way, it's like they shouldn't have released it in the state. They knew exactly what they were doing when they released it because they knew how bad the game was. Because if they QA'd it for like a day, they would know. So it's just bad on them. They started stopping refunds apparently for some people. Like they wouldn't allow it. They made you have to go back to your store personally and like request a refund. So basically they wouldn't allow people to get mass refunds. You would have to like negotiate with the GameStop people or negotiate with people, and you know they're never going to give the refunds back, and they know that. They're basically doing what Bethesda did with Fallout 76, which was making it impossible for people to get their money back unless they do like a class action lawsuit or something. And they basically made it so they might still, I don't know if they're doing like microtransactions. I didn't even like bother looking at it because I started it barely and I just sold it, or returned it. But
for 76?
No, well, I'm saying, like, I don't know if they're doing it like Fallout 76. Like, I don't know if they had microtransactions in this game, because I didn't really see if they had anything yet. Did you see anything?
No, there's no microtransactions.
Yeah. So then at least they don't do that. So they're not 100% Bethesda, but they're 99% Bethesda, apparently. It's just, like, I don't think they're capable of making a game. I just think, like, maybe they did bite off more they can chew, because, like, even Witcher 3 had bugs, and it was kind of known for having some funny jankiness to it, but some jankiness is one thing, but, like, it's unplayable. And like the fact that they release the games on the console and like, oh, we need to like, you know, if they wanted to release it on the older consoles to get most of their money, because people aren't going to all be buying the new consoles, they should have focused on that from the start. So I don't know what they were planning on doing, because those consoles run like trash, and that's supposed to be their base. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a no from me. Sorry, Sharks, I'm out. For that reason, I'm out. For that reason,
did you? Kayhan, I'm just curious. Did you buy Witcher 3 when it first released, or
no,
did you wait a while?
I bought Witcher 3. I didn't even know about Witcher 3 until it was on sale on Steam, and I was like, "Oh, this game has really good reviews, and it's been out." But then again, Witcher 3 always had overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. It was always like hailed as a really good game. But then the scale of Witcher 3 is also a lot smaller in terms of like, I'm sure how the scale and like what you can do and everything. But I got it, I think, like a year and a half, 2 years after it came out. So at that point, you know, it was pretty solid, like foundation as a game. And it had like almost no bugs, and the DLCs were coming out. Mm-hmm. But I think, yeah, what they were doing with the NDAs, did you guys see the NDAs they were doing apparently for reviewers for this game? My friend was saying that CD Projekt Red apparently was giving out NDAs for people saying you can't review the game with your gameplay. You have to use their gameplay that was already recorded. Oh, wow. So basically they knew it was trash. And that's what I'm saying. They're doing like shady ridiculous shit. It's like literally...
that was
something that was something that really bothered me, was like when... Yeah, but for reviewers, like you couldn't... they could only review the PC version, and they couldn't use their own footage. They had to use, they had to use... footage CD Projekt Red gave them to use. So there was like, and literally like nobody had played like the console versions of that game until after release. Like they really like hid that from the public,
It's
which
fraud.
is like
It's
really
fraud.
shady. That's really that's really shady. If you were just like, I mean, I think I made the comparison last week, but it's like if you saw a car, like if you went to go buy a car, and it's like, here's the car with all the bells and whistles, and it's like, let's say 100,000, but your budget's 30,000. You could get the like the base model of this car. It's under that tarp over there.
Yeah,
it's 30,000. It's kind of like that $100,000 one, but this one's this is the base model. You can't see it until after you buy it, but I promise you, it's kind of like that one over there.
Yeah, it's like
you pull it off, it's missing tires.
You never want to buy that car then. Yeah,
it's
like,
literally buying a used car from
yeah.
Craigslist, then going to getting a certified car from a dealer. That's basically what it is. Getting a used car from Craigslist, and then and then they're like promising you it's fine. Yeah. Oh, but we were saying before, the last thing I was gonna say about the whole pulling it off of PlayStation Store or whatever. I'm happy they did this, but this is a long time coming. They've been giving games the opportunity to sell and like be fraudulent on the platform for way too long, and literally lying to the public. Like I don't know any other kind of media. Well, everyone lies in all forms of media. Never mind. This is the first time I've heard of liars.
I thought this world was pure.
Yeah, I'm no longer a virgin anymore.
Businesses lie for their bottom line.
The CEOs are trying to take my anyway. Oh my god! But like, I hope this happens to everyone, because Fallout 76, they should have been stripped of their game immediately too. Like that game was an abomination. So I'm glad it happens. Even though I used to like CD Projekt Red. Now like, I gotta wait till their next game. I'm not even gonna fuck with them anymore, honestly. But like, I hope they do this to every game. Like whenever hopefully EA, if this lawsuit goes through, because they're class action lawsuits about their microtransactions and gambling, if their game gets hit with like more lawsuits, I hope they start pulling their games, like or start like punishing people for doing like unlawful shit. Because like, what the hell are they making money off of us for, and like being fraudulent to kids? They're taking kids. They're robbing my lemonade money. Like, help me.
I don't think Cyberpunk is for kids.
Well, I mean,
it really is not.
Well, I'm saying like Madden is rated like E or whatever for everyone, and they just they have gambling. They have gambling.
Yeah, it's like the Switch version of FIFA, where it was literally for this past, I forget which year it is, but it was a FIFA
2020 or something.
Yeah, it was like the same exact game as the last game. Like there's literally
more
no change.
Gambling. Yeah, it's more gambling. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's like these terrible companies. These big companies, why are they so mean to the public? It's almost like they're exploiting people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do they have to be so mean?
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
It's like we want to give them. It's like Nintendo when they do like annoying business practices, or like they don't like sell a game on the marketplace and they like make it limited supply for a digital release. It's like, we want to pay you money, just give us, and they're like, no, fuck you, and they take their game off the market.
Yeah. No, this whole Cyberpunk deal has been it's been awful, man. It really has been. And like, I feel like, to me, it's like I don't want to be like so harsh, because I feel bad for like, the people that worked on the game. I'm sure they they put in a lot of work, and like that game is not easy to develop because of how the size of it and everything that you're able to do in it. Like, it's freaking huge. But like, how dare you, person in charge who told the developers to release it? Like, how fucking dare you? You are like a terrible person, and you're clearly not thinking about, I would say, what would be half of your install base, more probably. And like, if you were really thinking of it as being a next gen game, then own up and say this is going to be a next gen game. Like, then we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. But like, the fact that you were like, no, we need to get all the money we can from the huge PS4 install base and that huge Xbox One install base. It's like, we need to sell it on those consoles to make money. And it's like, how dare you release something that is like, it is literally garbage, that you just can't do anything. Like, how, like, you are a sleazy scumbag person who made this decision. I don't know who you are, but I don't know who you are, Mr. CD Projekt Red, but you're a scumbag. Like, it's just terrible. It's like, it's just awful business. You're exploiting your audience You're exploiting your customers.
Your loyal
like,
fans.
And you're also undermining all of your employees. Like,
yeah, and like you're making your whole development team look bad. Like they don't know how to make a game. You know, it's awful.
Imagine having this on your resume. This is your first job. Like you just got on right after Witcher 3 came out, and like, don't worry, we're working on that futuristic game. And then now they go to anywhere, and it's like, oh, you worked on Cyberpunk. You're that piece of shit that like fucked my daughter's game.
Like you make like your whole team look terrible. You make the whole company look bad. Like and CD Projekt Red, like up until now, like it's been like the golden child, right? Like them, Rockstar, like those are the companies that are like,
we were the chosen one.
It's like we take years to develop our game because it's gonna be damn good.
Destroy the Sith, not join them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, it's just it's the whole thing's kind of it's a little sad and a little interesting kind of how it all went down. And I was actually I read a tweet from Corey Burlog the other day about this whole thing, and he's like, basically he was saying, I don't have the quote in front of me, but he was essentially saying like, I've been playing this on PC and it's like, it's a great game. And I feel bad for the developers because it's like, at the end of the day, it's like what they created is like incredible, but they're just kind of getting crapped all over because of like the decisions of the higher ups. And so it's definitely unfortunate because, like I said, I've been playing the game and you could tell a lot of love went into it, and it just needed like at least 6 more months in the oven to really make the tweaks to like at least like the Xbox One, the PS4. Like I said, I've been playing on PS5 and I've had almost 0 issues other than the hard crashes. Like every 2 hours
the game stopped working.
Yeah, but like
every 2 hours the game will crash.
Even
like
that's not okay.
It's
really
definitely
not.
frustrating. It's definitely frustrating being like right in the middle of a mission and the game just hard crashes, which resets all my settings, by the way. So like
that's
even worse.
Yeah, that's horrible.
It sucks. It definitely.
Why
sucks,
aren't you more bad about this?
Also, uninstalls
like
my
the
drivers.
Next generation
also.
too of like console gaming, and it's like, what is this standard?
This is
not even optimized for next gen. Like that's again
unacceptable.
It's inexcusable.
Well,
Angry
they're
Joe.
still working on it. But basically, I'm playing a PS4 game on a PS5 right now. They haven't come out with like the next gen versions. But it's like I've been enjoying my time with the game for the most part. It's just the whole thing's kind of a shame. It's like developers work on these games for so long and put like their heart and soul into it, and it's just like a shame when like a publisher or like the suits kind of just push a game out before it's done. And there's actually I kind of want to read this quick thing off of a Bloomberg article I was reading about this, where basically this internal meeting with everybody at CD Projekt Red. So a developer asked whether CD Projekt's directors felt it was hypocritical to make a game about corporate exploitation while expecting that their employees work overtime. And it's pretty ironic because that's basically what the game is all about.
So
it's
they still know what they're doing, and they're screwed. They still decide like, nah, they still don't see
money,
it.
dude.
Yeah. It's basically like it's a game all about like corporate greed and these corporations kind of just putting their foots on the necks of like everyone below them, and it's basically these higher ups at CD Projekt Red just like, you're working 6 days a week, you're working overtime every day because this has to be out by Christmas, and I don't care, and I'm gonna at the end of the day, I'm gonna get a big fat paycheck.
Whether it's gonna be good or not.
And I'm sure most of those people are working like during Christmas now to try and fix the bugs and stuff.
For
sure.
Oh
yeah,
they
definitely
I'm
are.
sure their bosses are like, "What's wrong with the game? What did you do?"
And
it's
those
like,
same people in that meeting are still gonna have like a normal Christmas. They're just like, like.
Because
they don't care. They're just
they're making their team like work extra hard to be like, we got to get that game back on the PSN store.
Yeah.
And I don't care what it takes. Like
because now they're not gonna get that yacht. Now he's only gonna get a Maserati, and he wants a yacht. And he's like, "Oh my, you idiots!"
I read that like basically the directors of the game that are like the main guys over at CD Projekt Red. Literally the day the game launched, they became billionaires overnight. Like just from Steam sales.
From the pre-orders or from the launch day?
From like pre-orders and launch of the game on Steam.
Here's an idea. How about nobody pre-order a game if it's not like anymore? Like just from now on, just no more pre-ordering games. That's the stupidest idea ever.
I haven't pre-ordered a game in a long time.
I've never pre-ordered a game in my life, and I think it's the dumbest thing. And clearly it doesn't work. Because now the standard is, like as long as the game doesn't crash, it's a good game. Like,
but it still does.
Yeah, and now you're not even getting that. Yeah. So what?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I think pre-ordering games is dumb. I think you should. These developers have they have the responsibility to make a complete game, fully polished. When it's released, like any other director in a movie would, right?
Preach, Joe.
Yeah, and I think the consumers I think the consumers should get exactly what they pay for. And when you pre-order a game,
you're right.
You're basically telling the developers like, oh, I already got the fucking money, Why do we need to finish this game?
Yeah, you're right. You basically they have this standard of like, does it work? Does it turn on?
Also,
well, technically
so my point
on.
is, it's kind of the consumer's fault for putting themselves in this situation.
No. You were on a roll. No, it's not our fault. It's their fault.
Yeah.
So anyways, stop pre-ordering games.
We've been on this for a minute now. So I'd like to move on, but it kind of gets me into like my next topic, which is just like games with. Oh no, I'm not. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's like they released something that wasn't done, and shame on them, and kind of shame on companies that think that's okay.
Shame on you.
At the end of the day, it's like everybody looks at the bottom line, while like the artists, like the developers, they. All of us were in the film industry, so it's like we know it. We know those pains because we have to go through it as well. Where it's like, these like, people at the top are like, this has got to be done like next week, and it's like, but why? This is a 3-week project, or this is like a 3-year project, and you're saying get this done in 1 year, or like it's a 3-month project, and you want us to get it done in 1 month. It's like this is. Not good. And so it's like, the film industry, just speaking from that experience, it's like, you have people that like, it's typical to work a 12 to 15 hour day, like typical day. That's, And so it's just like, it's messed up that, just to like, because that bottom line, they're like, this has got to be done by like this day.
Yeah,
and it's
doesn't
just
matter how many people we exploit.
Yeah, it's just,
and I get that like
tough.
Releasing it at a specific time for like like maximum, like I guess influx
revenue.
Of like profits is like revenue is necessary. I get that, but like you at this for the sake of compromising the health, you're losing the will of your employees, right, and their motivation. You're losing the trust of your customers and your consumers, and you're wasting profits still. Like you're still not, you're not even getting the maximum profit that you're planning on doing. It just doesn't make any sense. It would rather, why don't you just wait another year?
It's it's tough. It's like, I've seen it on the film side with like productions I've worked on, and just people like, time is money. We got to get this done now.
Like, there's no shortage of Christmas, but if there's going to be another Christmas next year. Yeah. If you really want to release it.
It's just, some people just don't, especially like, like producers at the top, the suits or whatever. It's like, they don't think about that. They just think about like the line items.
It's the same thing with like Game of Thrones. Remember that show? Remember how great that show was? And then they rushed it.
Oh, Game of Thrones?
You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's just.
That was funny. You guys never saw Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
You never saw it?
I never watched it.
Oh,
which show?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically what happened to that. Yeah.
It's very similar,
Yeah, and it's just, it's frustrating. I wish that, the games industry and even the film industry could take a hard look at themselves and be like, how can we strike a better balance? Because it's like, obviously, it's like with artists will tweak things all day to make it perfect and will always just take way too long. And so you have the people on the other side that's like, okay, we need to strike a balance between like you perfecting the thing you're doing, but also like getting it out so that we can all get paid and keep living.
Yeah.
And it's like
so that people can enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like just finding that balance, you know?
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough, and some people are better at it than others. I never really hear stories like this coming out of like Nintendo with like a Breath of the Wild type game. Yeah, so it's like they must have like
it's not really
they must have a pretty good workflow.
I mean? Yeah, it's not really an excuse for a company to not deliver.
Yeah.
Also, if they just didn't lie, like the funny thing is, they'd probably still sell a decent amount from fans that were loyal to them if they just said straight up like this is the gameplay, or if they announced that it'll be in a beta. If they announced like, hey, this is our game, like we're slowly trying to release this game, but we're not gonna be able to hit our mark, but we'll make a beta release if you guys still want to play it. Here's the game in the state. If they were honest, they would get shit on for sure, but I guarantee you it'll be like 75% less like shit than they're getting now, because they at least admit it, but they don't want to do that. Because they want to lie. They want to be fraudulent. That's absolutely what they're doing. They're just lying to people, like to their face.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting. It's, you know, there's been other games that have had like rocky starts that a lot of times when a developer just comes out and is just straight up honest about something, like, hey, we're really sorry, we kind of screwed up. We're gonna try and fix it. A lot of times that just makes everything better, you know? And that's a good life lesson for anybody. It's like, if you're just like straight up with somebody, like doesn't matter like what
like No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky turned it around. Look how they're like love now. And then no one learned from that. And everyone's like idiots. They had to like admit their mistakes. Like that's all they like did from that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's just, you know, they just kind of buckled down and kind of cranked out a good game, which, you know, I'm gonna jump into this next topic and we can just move through it quick so we can get back to fun things. But does anybody have a story of like a game they've played with like a really rocky start that maybe they've turned it around or maybe they did not?
Never.
I mean, I didn't play it when it first came out, but Mass Effect Andromeda, when that came out, it was just it was terrible. Like like just looking at gameplay and like the initial review, it was like, oh my god, there's like these lifeless looking people in that game, like their eyes are like dead eyes, and just like some of them would just be like floating in the background, or like not looking at you when they're talking. It's just you know, and like I recently started playing it because it was on sale. And, you know, this is like 3 years after the release, so all the patches are already done for it. But like, you know, playing that game now, it's like, yeah, it's not bad. Like, I can still see it though. Like, it's still not perfect, like the gameplay. It's not like that smooth. It like the movement and like your character animations are still kind of like jerky and janky. And like honestly, playing that game, like everyone looks like they're made of rubber. It's weird. It's like
the engine. Yeah,
or
something looks
it's
bad.
Just weird. Like it just like
If I'm not mistaken, I could be here, but I think they developed it on the DICE engine and not Frostbite, the Frostbite engine made from DICE, and everybody just has such a hard time with that frickin' engine. Like every developer is like,
it's Frostbite. That's 3. Where
it was
Frostbite. It says Mass Effect Andromeda was built using EA's DICE's Frostbite 3 engine.
That's it.
Which required that they construct all systems, tools, and assets from scratch. That's a major problem.
That's tough. That's
a whole new endeavor. That's like a new IP idea right there. That's crazy.
Like
I think they had like a 2 to 3 year turnaround in that game too. So
they need like 4 or 5 years. That's crazy.
Like you, and like just like again, like just playing it now, like you can still tell like it's a little rough around the edges. Like it's fun. Like, and you know, now that people look somewhat normal, it's a way more enjoyable. Like you know, their facial animations and stuff. But like I just remember when it initially came out, like I wanted to get it because I loved the original Mass Effect trilogy, and I was really excited about this one. But then when I saw like initial reviews and gameplay, I was like, oh god, this is like I gotta wait like a year or two until like it's actually done. And like even now that it's actually done, it's still like, again, that Frostbite engine, man, it's tough. Like it just doesn't look doesn't look as good as it should, you know what I mean? But yeah, like that's
screw that engine.
yeah, it's really not great. And so like BioWare had a whole thing with that where it was kind of like CD Projekt Red right now. It's like everyone loved BioWare, and then this happened, and they were like, I don't know if we can ever trust you again, BioWare.
Yeah.
You know, which is a shame because again, the original trilogy is great and it still plays really well today. Like you can go back and play Mass Effect 2 and still have a great time, and it looks perfectly fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, Andromeda for me, like, yeah, that was
That's
a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's all, when I think about it, every single time someone starts hating a company is all because lie and fraud. If these developers would just come out and say, hey, we messed up, we did a new engine, we don't have enough time to do it, we're gonna release the game in beta, they would be like hated, but like a lot less. Because every time it's always they lie, they misrepresent, they commit fraud, and then everyone's just like, they tried their best. Like, fuck them.
Yeah.
Like, these guys,
Here's a slap on the wrist.
yeah, they lie. EA gambling, CD Projekt Red fraud, BioWare fraud, and everyone's just like, next game will be better. You know, they'll just stop committing fraud. Like,
yeah. And like typically like big open world games, like, you know, like Fallout games and like Skyrim, when they come out, they're always super buggy. Like, but there's also like, there's still quality to them. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like buggy to the point of like this, I can't play this game. Like, it's just
Fallout
ridiculous.
76.
I mean, you'll always accept a certain standard, but like,
like I mean, like when Skyrim came out, like you play Skyrim and it was, you know, there's always bugs, but it was like, it was still fun, it was still enjoyable, and the game didn't crash on you and like go like 10 frames, you know, a second. It still played, but you know, Bethesda games are always like super buggy.
That's embarrassing.
Although Skyrim was a huge mess on PS3, that was something where it had like bugs that just literally made the game unplayable. Like you couldn't get past certain sections and advance in the games, and they never fixed it. That was like yeah,
well,
definitely definitely a problem there.
No.
But anyways, so. Yeah, did anybody else have any quick stories as far as like Rocky games?
I can't really remember a time I've ever bought a game and was like disappointed. Like ever, I never felt like a game was ever incomplete. You know what I mean? Like every game I've ever bought felt complete, and I think that's mostly because like they're from like Nintendo or you know, they're like Japanese company games because they have like, you know,
Nintendo's great.
Deliver.
You know, I used to like
dude,
be like,
Nintendo's awesome.
Nintendo's
I never experienced that problem. So when I first started hearing about like people like PlayStation owners and stuff having like problems like pre-ordering games and then not being finished, I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you buy a game where it's
even
not
like
complete?
their new Metroid game they announced? They were like, you know what, we weren't happy. We're kind of just redoing it from scratch.
And I'm like, I'm not
That's
as
amazing.
the consumer, you're not mad, or even as like a fan or supporter, you're not mad.
Yeah.
It's like you're
time.
bummed out kind of, but it's like, all right, I get it. You know, just
like I've gone however long it's already been. Like I can wait another year. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Like
All right. So we got through. Oh, sorry, Kaon.
Oh no, I was gonna say Red Dead 2 on PC, the port. Because remember, I had like that horrible launch thing. For me, it was reverse. So technically, it was like I saw the game at its best for me on PC. Because I played on the console, then I played on PC, and it was amazing. But they made it progressively worse. So I guess I had the reverse effect where it worked perfect.
It launched really well.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Interesting.
So I never had, because no one ever, like you said, Nintendo will just not release a shit game because they're Nintendo and they have standards, where most people will just like try and make a quick buck and then deal with the PR issues later. So kudos to Nintendo, basically. Yeah.
Nintendo, man, they just
care. They care.
They just care.
They love us.
Give us stuff, Nintendo.
Daddy Miyamoto just taking care of us, you know,
Papa
taking care of his boys. Okay, so we got through the rotten meat in the middle. I want to end with like a nice little, like a nice little ending, you know, to cap it off, you know, bottom bun or top bun, you know, depending on how you make your sandwich, of like niceness. And, you know, obviously we're going into like the holidays and, you know, just wanted to take a moment here, you know, pretend you're like sitting next to like a nice toasty fire, maybe as a Christmas tree or like whatever thing you celebrate with around this time. And it's like, you know what? You got any good holiday video game related stories or, you know, games that you love around this time of year? Anything like that?
I've mentioned it before. Arkham Origins is always my like yearly tradition around Christmas because takes place on Christmas Eve, and I love Batman, so I love playing that game. But also another game that always makes me feel like Christmas is the Pokemon Red and Blue. because when I was a kid, I got a Game Boy with Pokemon Red for Christmas, and it was like probably one of the greatest moments of my life. Like, it was so much fun. Like, you know, whenever that, I was like, what, 5 or 6 years old when that came out or something. And yeah, I just remember like going on this crazy wild adventure and like, oh my god, Pokemon. Like, it's, you know, which nowadays it's like a global phenomenon. Everybody loves Pokemon and it's huge. But like, I just remember like those humble beginnings of getting the Game Boy and playing Pokemon Red, and I was like, wow, I've never played a game like this, you know, because back then I had a Super Nintendo, which was my first console, and I didn't ever play like an RPG like Pokemon. So yeah, so Pokemon Red and Blue always makes me think of Christmas, and I'll occasionally like I'll pull it up on my DS and I'll play through it, because you can blitz through that game so fast nowadays, because if you know what Pokemon to get and stuff. So
it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the OG Pokemon Red and Blue, man, always makes me feel Christmassy.
Nice. By the way, pop quiz, do you know the other Batman game that's like very Christmas themed? Batman video game?
Batman and Santa Save the World? I don't know.
Batman and Santa Save the World.
Yo, I love that game.
How do you know?
Can you give me the console? Because I have an idea.
Super Nintendo.
That's what I was thinking. Is it the Adventures of Batman and Robin game?
No, it's actually the Batman.
Batman Returns. Game. Yeah, I played that. Yeah. And like, you fight it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up game. I remember that game. Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah, that's actually a really good Batman game.
It is really good. Legit a good side-scroller beat-em-up.
And very Christmas themed. Anybody else have any good holiday stories?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
you wanna go? You go, Joe. You go.
Yeah, let's see, the games I've liked to play during the season. Let's see. I remember my first GameCube opening on a Christmas day and having it Super Smash. So
nice.
Yeah, Smash will always be a good one. That, and like when I first opened my Game Boy SP, when like that was a magical feeling. Came in that little like plastic, impossible to open plastic thing. You have to like cut with scissors, and then it came with like came with Super Mario 3, and a little booklet with it too. So sick, dude.
Dude, the SP, that's still probably my favorite handheld, man.
Yeah, so great, dude.
It was solid. It was like a fucking like nice metal wallet almost.
Yeah,
little laptop, like
Yeah. God, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world when I had one.
It was great.
Dude, this is so dope.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, Hal, what you got for us?
Mine's more of like an event. Usually I have like game sessions with friends, but like that was right up to high school, maybe like a year or two after I did that when I wasn't so busy. Now it's like life and like pandemic. Yeah. But I used to do GTA 5. This is the biggest thing, because Halo used to have like Halo 3 back in the day. They used to have those like Christmas themed like games. But when GTA 5 came out and GTA 4, like one thing I always did with my friends when we all got on at the same time when we were younger, we used to get on GTA Online. We'd start at the bottom of the map. We'd have to steal a vehicle and we'd race from the bottom of the map all the way around the whole world and come back. And it's like Mad Max style. So you can like shoot each other and kill each other. But you always spawn at the base of the map. And it's so much fun because it takes, I think the longest it took us was like 2.5 hours because we kept killing each other on the way there. And the police start chasing you, right? So you're still doing it. And like finally we start stealing the planes and just flying around. And,
that's awesome.
It's so much fun. But then now everyone's busy and everyone's adults now, you know. I have kids now and I'm like,
ew.
Yeah, it's like
gross, dude. I hate those things.
Dumb babies, man. They're just like, man, feed me. I need nourishment. You know?
Take care of yourself.
Stupid kids ruining the holidays.
Yeah.
God, they turn into what I despise even more than kids. Into adults, dude. All right.
Well, cool. Yeah, and I can't remember if I've mentioned this one on previous holiday episodes. If so, apologies. But when I was younger, you know, I got Donkey Kong Country 2 for the Super Nintendo for Christmas, and I remember just just seeing that game and just like, oh my god, I got Donkey Kong Country 2.
Best Donkey Kong game ever.
Yeah, I mean, just popping that game in and just playing it for weeks on end. I absolutely love Donkey Kong Country 2, other than some of the frustrations towards the end of that game. But that stupid parrot race, screw that parrot race. But
it's tough.
Man, I just like I that like memory of the excitement about getting that game for for Christmas, like just sticks with me. It's just like that was such a an amazing game and amazing present to get.
Hell yeah.
Get the warm and fuzzies thinking about it.
Side note: the Donkey Kong Country trilogy is now on Super Nintendo Online.
That it is, which is pretty.
Better
rad.
get it before they take it off.
Well,
it's just part of their online subscription thing. So it's $20 a year and it's yours.
Hell yeah,
baby. But yeah, it's like I just wanted to kind of end on a nice note there. Obviously, with the holidays around the corner, but it's also just to kind of wrap up this episode and sort of bring it all around. It's the thing with like video games is like you're supposed to get the warm and fuzzies. You're supposed to like feel good, either playing it or giving it to somebody and like feel good about this like world that you're about to like jump into. And it's a shame when there's like rocky launches and people disappointed and upset. It's
evil
like
corporate overlords,
and people struggling to get things like PS5s because of like stupid scalpers and
the bots.
It just it's unfortunate because one of the things I love about this hobby is like it's just like the warm and fuzzies it can bring people. It's like the joy of like opening up a console on Christmas Day and like playing a game you've been wanting to play for like 6-7 years, or just like being a kid and getting like your very first console, or with like a game maybe you've never heard of, but then suddenly Zelda is now your favorite franchise for the rest of your life or whatever. And it's like excuse me. Those are the kind of the things that the moments and stories that I live for and love to talk about with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this year has been rough for a lot of different reasons. From the COVID standpoint, but also like games of rocky starts, like was Anthem this year? I can't remember, but things like the Avengers or like this Cyberpunk stuff, and and obviously Avengers. The console launches and people not being able to get one and being frustrated by that. And, I've heard so many stories of people like I'm just trying to get a PS5 for my son or whatever for his first console, and it's just
you're
like
really,
a shame.
You're bringing me down, man.
Yeah,
this is a sad note. I'm
sorry.
What happened to the fun part?
I'm just trying to get a PS5 for my son.
But at the end of the day, it's like kind of going into the next couple of weeks of like this holiday time. It's like I hope everybody gets some time off to kind of chillax, play something fun. Play something with some friends. Maybe online. I know we're gonna play some Streets of Rage tomorrow, which is gonna be pretty rad.
It's gonna be awesome.
I'm gonna try and play a little Overwatch with friends over the next like week or two.
Holiday event.
This like winter event, and
Dude,
it's
let's play. I love Overwatch.
Let's go. And so it's like this the kind of time of year to like sit back, relax, get fat a little bit, enjoy hanging out with some friends and family, people maybe you haven't talked to in a minute, and play some games. So that's what it's all about, baby.
I love it.
Woo! Well, thank you everybody for joining us this week for another episode of Multiplayered. Remember, you can find Multiplayered at Go Multiplayered on Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff. We release this show every week, every Wednesday. Like, subscribe, all that. YouTube.com/multiplayer. Check us out, iTunes or, Google Play or whatever that one is now. It always confuses me. Spotify. Leave us a review. Hit us up with like questions if you have like, thoughts or questions for us. You can even
at me.
Yeah,
do
it. Message, me, bro. Just message us on Instagram or whatever. Where can we find you?
I am at Jumpman_Ortiz on Instagram, and my holiday plans, I hope to get through Mass Effect, Ghost of Tsushima, and the original Fire Emblem game on my Switch now that I have it. So a big endeavor, but I'm hoping I can finish all those.
Dope. Kaon, where can we find you?
I actually have a newer Instagram I'm making with the pirate
Nice.
thing. I'm gonna be making some videos soon. I just created yesterday. It's at Kobe Sama.
Oh,
yeah,
Kobe-sama!
Anyways, that's not how you spell it. It's at KOBESAMAA. Kobe Sama. Yeah.
The origins of
I've
Kobe
been putting
Sama.
some media on there. I've been putting some stuff on there.
I love it.
Dope. I'm excited to see what that is. And Joe, where can we find you, dude?
You can listen to me at my other podcast, Broke English Majors, on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Very nice. And before we go, guys, are we doing an episode next week, or are we doing a little holiday vacation?
I'm down to do vacation.
I feel like we should talk about this off the air.
What's that?
Oh,
We should talk about this off the air.
Well, we'll figure it out, guys.
vote in the comments down below. Oh wait, this is an audio podcast.
maybe we'll have an episode next week. Maybe we won't. You'll find out next week if there's no episode posted. But thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate you listening. Stay safe, stay well, have a good holiday break if you get to. Unless you're CD Projekt Red, where you're probably working overtime. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, if this is our last episode of the year, which I don't know at the moment, yeah, good luck, everybody. Hang in there.
Yeah.
Play something fun. Hope you get a PS5. All that fun stuff.
Hell yeah.
Love y'all. Take care.
Check a break.
We love you. Love yourself
Peace.
as well.